My name's Cory. I'm 19 years old and I'm looking to run the Boston Marathon on April 17th, 2018. So I just thought that, when I have kids in the future telling them, hey, I ran the Boston Marathon, they'll be like, wow, like you watch that on TV every year, instead of saying, hey, I ran, the New York Marathon, they'll be like, what's the New York Marathon? Like nobody knows what that is. So I don't know. That's why I want to run the Boston one, because it's kind of got the name, and when you think marathon, you think Boston Marathon.
Yeah, so he was telling me that he was going to be applying for the Boston Children's Hospital team. That was like a separate phone call. That was the first one that I got. He was like, yeah, like I'm going to apply and going to see where it takes me, see if we can actually make something happen with that.
What I thought is, hey, my first marathon, I want to do the Boston one. How can I do it? So I looked it up, researched it, thought about it, and I found out that you could run for charity and you didn't have to qualify, which means I wouldn't have to run a previous marathon. I saw Boston Children's does one, and I thought, that's right up my alley, because, everything I do is for kids. Everything I do is giving back to kids. I work at a summer camp for kids. I traveled over winter to go help kids. So I thought Boston Children's Hospital would easily be the best one for me. But yeah, no, on the application, I'm gonna put down all the stuff I do for kids, all the times I've ran, all the stuff I'm talking about now. The thing I'm looking forward to the most, if I actually get accepted through them, is I read into it that they have a program where you can have kind of like a sponsor. One of the kids that's a patient at the hospital, you can actually kind of team up with them, partner up with them, and they're your inspiration for the race. But I'm looking forward to that, because if I get a kid in the hospital, I'm looking forward to going and visiting them, just saying hi, being a friend and stuff like that, because obviously they're not physically capable to go out and run a marathon themselves. So if I can go out and run a marathon in their name or in their family's name or anything, I mean, that'd just be amazing.
As far as the running and stuff like that, he used to look up to his older brother and he used to call him a running machine and stuff like that when he tried to keep up with him. And then obviously his legs got longer, he got taller, his body developed a little more, and he took running a little more seriously.
His entire passion was always working with the other athletes and making everyone else better, at least for the track team. I won't ever forget that it was a cold, crappy day. And I think it was the second time we had done the 12 by 400 workout. It's miserable. We're freezing. Half the team is trying to go in saying they're injured, and it was him and one other athlete that was out there. And he was miserable, did not want to do it. He hit all of his splits. He stayed out through because the other athlete was staying out there, and he's like, all right, coach, we'll do this. And he stayed it. He was not happy. He would cross the line and finish it, but he did the workout, and it was just that kind of grit. He was determined to do it. He'd finish the job. His crushing his 5-minute mile and breaking the 5-minute barrier was less important, I think, to him than him being able to help somebody else succeed, help another freshman at the time plow through the mile and get their own PR. I think he was more gratified by that than his own times, which was crazy.
I was definitely nervous after I sent it in. I didn't want to disappoint anybody. I mean, I want to do it for me, but basically everything I do is for other people. And I know a ton of people were proud and excited and happy for me, and I just didn't want to kind of let them down. So I was just checking my email and I refreshed it, saw Boston Children's Hospital, and instantly I got nervous. So I was just sitting there in class and just opened the email, and I was reading through it, and it was saying, oh, we received this many applications, we can only accept this many people. Just the last paragraph said, we're sorry to inform you, but we're gonna have to put you on the waiting list because we don't have enough room for you on the team this year. The next couple of days I was trying to think about how I can tell everybody, how I'm gonna, try to explain to everybody that I didn't get in. It's kind of one of those moments where you just kind of feel not good enough, and you don't want to tell anybody that you failed, but you know that you did, and you have to face it, which stinks. A couple days later, especially when we were getting close to just saying that we didn't get in, I was thinking about, hey, let's do something else. Like, let's do another marathon. It was in my mind that I was doing this. It was in my mind that when I get back from my trip in January, that I'm going to start training. I'm going to start running. This will be a big thing in my life. And I didn't want to give it up.
He told me that he got waitlisted and that he was thinking about doing a completely other one. Like, even if he wasn't going to be able to do the Boston Marathon, he still wanted to do something. So he was going to find a way to do it regardless.
So we put it on Facebook, and not too long after, a friend of the family actually commented on it, and they said, hey, I got somebody I know that I'm pretty sure gets bibs every year, and I'll see what they think. I'll see if I can get you one. Not even maybe 10 minutes later, I get another message, and the first sentence is just, I got you a bib. All kinds of emotions. I was excited. I started texting a couple people. I was like, hey, I'm running the Boston Marathon. Like, this is crazy. Like, in April, like April 16th, I'm running the Boston Marathon. It was wild.
Dude, you'll never guess. Some guy gave me a bib. It was something else. he couldn't even keep his thoughts straight. He was just so excited with it.
We can't name who gave us the bib, but when they talked to us, they told us, hey, we saw the story. We absolutely love what you're doing. We can't find people better to give a bib to, and that's what we look for when we're gonna give them out, is people that are doing good things, people that are, going out trying to change the world, people that are, sharing their story with everybody else, people that are inspiring others. And they said that is basically me in a nutshell. So I'm beyond grateful, beyond thankful. I'm excited, and I really owe it to those people that had gone out of their way to help me out, and I just look to repay the favor to others. The whole reason I was running this marathon in the first place was to give myself a reason to give back, to give myself a platform to give back. So I decided to make my own team. So I started a page on Facebook, and I decided to raise money on my own for my own cause that nobody else would be raising money for. I'm going on 2 trips, one over winter break to Nicaragua for 2 weeks to build community center and classrooms and to teach in a community that basically survives on $1 a day, which is insane. And then over spring break, I'm giving up my spring break to go to Guatemala to bring water purification systems to communities that are around a lake that has been polluted for a couple years now, and which is getting much worse.
Everything he does is for kids, so running for Boston Children's was his original goal. And then once he found out that that wasn't going to happen, it kind of turned into something even better, because it was something his own. Polar Fights Poverty is for the places he's directly been to, so the kids that he's made connections with, made relationships with the families. He knows the kids personally in Guatemala and Nicaragua and wherever else he goes in the future. So it didn't surprise me at all. It's exactly him. It's something he loves, and it's definitely something that he's very dedicated towards.
He definitely found his niche when he took that first trip. And I think that it's just been something that he's realized that he wants to make a part of his life. I completely see it. He's a very empathetic person and very caring person, and that fits him very well.
So when I'm running that marathon, when I'm running by people, I am by myself during the race, but outside of the race, there are so many people that are part of what we're doing, and it's just unbelievable. I wish I could have all the people that are supporting me and everybody run with me during the race, but I'm basically just a piece of the puzzle. It may just be me running, but I don't know. There are so many other people that have created what it will be and will have created everything that the race really means. I'm just a physical representation running 26 odd miles, and that's basically all I am. The rest of it is the people that support me, the people that are giving, the people that are actually donating, the people who are doing all the heavy work, and I'm just a figure that's trying to lead the charge. I think that if I can make a difference in the lives of people who were born at a true disadvantage from myself, then I'm doing the right thing. And that's all I can ask is people to support me to help those who are born at a disadvantage. You can never stop doing that, and even if you change one person's life a year, that's one more person than would have been. So that's how I look at it, and I'm just constantly going to try to give back and hope that people support me.
Really, that encompasses him as a person, that he can see people not as this is a little kid that needs this, but as a human that needs help, and I'm going to go out there and help.
As far as fundraising, and he was able to branch out, and do his own charity, which was amazing. And all the support that he got from the community here in Middleborough, the community out in Westfield, friends, family from all over different states. That was amazing.
For me to wake up every day, and as I'm walking to class, I grab my backpack, look at all this money that's on my wall, and that's all money that's going to kids. So that was great to physically be able to see exactly what we had raised, exactly what we had, and everything like that.
Knowing, that the money that he had been raising through Polar Fights Poverty was being put towards donations was awesome, because we actually went shopping for donations using the money that people had raised, and we had like a huge shopping cart full of toothbrushes and toothpaste and like stuffed animals and hair elastics for the little girls.
As a group, we had 10 people, and we brought 8 full suitcases of donations, which was amazing. And we were able to bring roughly 1.5 suitcases full of stuff.
And he didn't run much in Guatemala, so that kind of slowed things down a bit. But after that, it was okay.
my shin started acting up. It started hurting, and which was not good. So I went to the school trainer, and she told me that, you know, hey, it should be fine. It's not shin splints. It's not a stress fracture. It's more just the muscle. The muscle's sore, so you can run on it, but if it starts to hurt, then you're definitely gonna have to stop and do something else for training.
Yeah, it was pretty boring for him, so I sat at the side of the pool, and the lifeguards were like, oh, here they are again. So yeah, I was a pool buddy.
Yeah, that was definitely very scary, especially the week leading up to the race. We weren't sure what was going to happen. We weren't sure if I was going to run 4 miles and collapse or anything or whatever. So yeah, that's how that went.
You know, I just wanted to let him know it was okay if he didn't finish, but in my back of my head, I knew he was going to do it. You know, I knew he'd find a way somehow, even if it took him 10 hours, he was going to finish it.
And if he's got to army crawl across that finish line, he will.
We're toasting you for doing such a marvelous thing for so many people, for being so caring and kind and training so hard, and we'll be rooting for you, and we all love you. And
no pressure.
Absolutely not, because the first step is all that you need.
All right.
It was really weird because it was like, today's the day, like everything building up towards it, like all the donations, the whole like platform for Polar Fights Poverty. It was like, today is it. And it was really cool just like see that like it was finally here.
Made it to the runner's village. I changed my shoes, which was a process. Got my gloves, we got some water, we got all these people. Here we go. We're like 20 minutes out. Alright, here we go, guys. Here we go, baby. There's the start. Woo!
Because the weather was terrible. Nobody wanted to be out there, never mind the runners, but standing on the sidelines for hours and hours, hoping to catch a glimpse of him going by. That was truly amazing.
We figured, oh, we'll go meet him at the 8 mile. He's probably got people down the road anyway, and like we want to see him at least, like, you know, if for some odd reason that he doesn't finish it, like he had trouble with his shins, and we were just wanting to make sure that we got to see him before like any, like, you know, just to make sure that we saw him.
There happened to be a light right there, so I was like, oh, well, it's a red light. I have to stop. And then obviously we laughed, and then I had to keep running because I was running the marathon. So, I mean, that kind of stinks. The running part's not very fun, but other than that, it's pretty fun.
Holy crap! Go! Go! What's up? Why are you stopping? What are you doing? This is so long, dude. I don't know what this is. Dude, why are you stopping?
How's your shins doing?
Dude, it's good.
It's all right?
It's good, yeah. There are little kids everywhere. Why are you stopping?
Holy shit.
Oh, man. Dude, it's a red light. I just stopped. But yeah, my legs are gonna end up being tired when I start again, and then I'll just probably quit when I get past you guys. What? No. All right, are you guys going to finish too?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay,
they're probably heading out, but I'm probably gonna be there.
All right, hell yeah. Keep it going,
Right,
kid.
keep
Keep going strong. Woo! Yeah. So seeing people that you know is helps way more than anybody would even think.
We got to see him at mile 10, and to me that was really cool just because, you know, that's still a long time, 10 miles, and he looked pretty good. The weather was horrible, and we had seen a couple people like not doing well at all, so to see him like going pretty strong was really relieving. I know he says that he wasn't feeling strong at all, but he looked it, so that was relieving for me.
That got me probably through like mile 16, just seeing them at mile 10. you take the last turn and you can like see, I could see all the crowd and stuff, but I couldn't see the finish line. Technically, I could see like the kind of loop over the top of it and like the time and everything. But yeah, that final turn's great. At that point, you don't even like know what you're doing anymore.
You know, just an emotional time, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's your kid, and, you know, you wish the best for him, and then you see him doing it, and, you know, it's just very, very exciting. But it's just, I just remember the concentration on watching every single person to make sure I saw him. And
and proudly announce the names of the finishers of the 122nd BAA Boston Marathon. Led by yours, Cory, Thomas Wells, Isabel Beal, Richard Jeffima, Joseph Miller. Welcome, Susanna Torini, Lisa Newman, Carol Wallace, South Carolina.
I'm so proud of him. Like, again, like everything that he's been working for like this whole time, it's just like, it's all worth it. And that one moment, like crossing the finish line, like this is just the start of Polar Fights Poverty, but felt like that was like a big milestone just because that was like the first big platform for him. And you know, he had like overcome a bunch of struggles in training and like waited the long time just so like seeing him finish was just like so cool, just because like the weather was horrible, like it couldn't have been any worse, and like he still did it. So I was so proud.
No, but I'm definitely not surprised that he was able to do that. He's got a lucky star or something out there. He's always able to do what you don't think he can do. He's always proven you wrong.
somebody like Cory was in a position where it was the only time maybe he'll ever run it. He doesn't know what his future is going to hold. So I think a combination of willpower and the thought that this is my one chance, I may never get another bib. You know, I'm running for the charity, I'm running for the kids. Everybody's, rooting for me. They're watching me online. I just think everything combined, drove him, mentally to stay focused and push through the pain and the weather conditions. So it's like, I think that's a case of why a lot of people dropped out and he kept going. So
I was really glad that I was able to accomplish it after really pushing myself for, those 4.5 hours, but months before. Thinking about all the kids, what they have to go through in their lives. This was literally just kind of a figurehead to what all those kids go through and stuff like that. And this was just a taste for me of what those kids go through. Like if my feet hurt, those kids' feet hurt for the last 8 years because they don't have good shoes or anything. So everything that I did, everything that I struggled through was a taste of what people in the world go through every single day or for years or for months or whatever. So it was just great to get there and symbolize what I was trying to do by technically finishing.
You're not alone. You think you're worthless, but you're worth it. And he calls you his own, made in his image. You were made for more. You think there is no plan, that it's all by chance, but don't believe that anymore. Every time that you wake up breathing, every night when you close your eyes, every day that your heart keeps beating, there's purpose for your life. So don't give up, don't lay down, just hold on, don't quit now. Every breath that you take has meaning. You are here for a reason. You're here for a reason. If you spent your days just getting by, when you feel useless, he can use you and show you what it means to be alive. Every time that you wake up breathing, every night when you close your eyes, wake up breathing. Every night when you close your eyes, every day that your heart keeps beating. There's purpose.